What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Out here in the garage today, finally got the car done. I didn't film any of the rest of the fab work. There wasn't really a lot left to do besides just trim up some stuff and get the water tank mounted. So I got those things mounted. I'm going to go through, show you guys the car and how everything turned out. And then we're going to do a test and we're going to find out if I have to deal with any boost lag because of all the extra intercooler piping. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that turns out. Alright, so here's the front end. I got the bumper and the fender and everything back on here, and had to relocate the catch can over here. Under the hood really cleaned up a lot. It's really open up here now, easy to work on. Easy to get the plug wires. Easy to work on the front of the motor. It's nice and freed up. You can see right here where I had to trim up the plastic cowl cover up here. You can almost, it doesn't really even look that crazy, honestly. It's nice and clean. I like it, like the way it turned out. And then we'll go and also look how much room there is up here now. There's all kinds of room up here where the intercooler used to be. A lot more airflow for the radiator, so it should help it run a little cooler. The old girl's sitting pretty low in the back now with how much weight has now been moved from the front of the car to the rear. And then I built all this intercooler piping to clear the dash so I didn't have to cut it up any. So that clears the dash, no problems. Still nice and clean in here. Still looks street car-ish. And then put that little makeshift rear seat delete that me and the wife made a few years ago and cut a couple holes in it. So it looks pretty good back there. Got both those intercooler pipes running back to the intercooler. So it's still plenty of room to sit over here. So plenty of leg room. Trunk area. Got everything mounted up back here. So I got the Rhodes Race Cars 5-gallon tank with the Rule 2000 pump inside. Got this nice locking lid on it. And then got the Rule pump down in there. I'll kick that on here in a second and show you guys how much water it moves. It works pretty good. So this guy's mounted up, wired up. Got the drain coming off of it right here so I can drain the water out and put ice in it when I need to. Got these 1-inch lines running from the ice box to the front of the intercooler right there. Nice and clean. And then the intercooler sitting there on its mount. Everything fit back here pretty nice. Got that switch up here for the intercooler. Should work pretty good with some ice water in it, keeping the intercooler cool, keeping the IATs cool. And then you can see on my side over here, I got plenty of room still. No issues at all. I had a couple guys tell me that intercooler placement was bad, which I really don't care. It's back there for weight distribution reasons, and that's all. And then I also had some guys that kept asking, well, what are you going to do about the boost lag? This is a 4.6 with a 91mm turbo on it. It has lag no matter what. But just to test and show you guys that there's probably not going to be any lag at all for what I do, I'm going to do a Transbrake test here in the driveway. I'm going to keep the same tune-up in it that I had at Turkey Bash when the car went a 503. The weather was about the same. It might be a little colder today than it was that day, but it should be a good comparison of how this setup works compared to how the air-to-air setup worked. Same CO2 on the wastegate, same tune, same two-step RPM and everything. And then we'll compare the two data logs and see how close the boost curve is and how close the RPM curve is getting up on the two-step. And that'll give me a good idea of whether there's any boost lag going on because of the 15 foot of piping that I have in there. Not concerned about it because I'm not worried about boost response on the street. This car is a drag race car, so it's generally up on the two-step, up on the Transbrake making boost when I launch. All that volume is already filled, so there's really going to be no noticeable delay. So I'm not concerned about that. We'll get this thing fired up, put it on the two-step, see how it goes. Alright, guys, so I got the launch PSI set at 12, so it's going to put 12 pounds of CO2 on top of the gate whenever I get on the Transbrake. It's exactly the same as the 503 tune from Turkey Bash. See if I can get it up on the Transbrake. Alright, here goes nothing. That pull-off valve is loud. Oh man, it's loud. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, just from sitting in here and getting it on the Transbrake just now, I don't think there's any difference in spool up. All right, guys, so I've got both data logs pulled up here, and before we go through this, the dotted line is the data log I just did here in the driveway with the new intercooler setup, and the solid line is my 503 pass from Turkey Bash. This is the exact same tune, the exact same amount of CO2 pressure, and the transmission was actually a little cooler on the test I just did here in the driveway than it was at Turkey Bash. But we'll go ahead and go through and compare some of the numbers. So I'm starting off at the very beginning of the log, right as I tipped in and the data log started. And as you can see, everything's pretty much the same. The TPS is 87%, 85, and then we'll go up until they're both at 100%. All right, so they're both at 100%, and everything's pretty similar right here, minus the oil pressure right there. That's just because the motor was hotter on the Turkey Bash pass. So over here on the left, the top number for each section is going to be the Turkey Bash run, and then the bottom number is going to be the test I did here in the driveway with the new intercooler setup. So looking at this already, you can tell that the new setup is a little bit quicker on RPM. It's a little higher on the curve here, and this red line here is the boost curve. So you can see that it is also, it's a little quicker here on the RPM to get on the chip. It's kind of hard to tell. I believe that on the dotted line is where it's getting on the chip at 2.62 seconds, and then the Turkey Bash run, looks like it's on the chip about right there, 2.73, so not a big difference there. And then right here, the boost curve does climb a little faster, and you can see the boost over here is it's almost a pound higher at this point, and then we'll just go on up here where it tops out. It looks like we get to 14 pounds when at the same point in time the old air-to-air setup was at 13.3 pounds. So we're 1 pound ahead here, and then we get over and open the wastegates up and they hold the exact same boost. So the proof is right here. I mean, you can't lie. Here's the data right in front of your face. Clearly, at least for the way I do this, there is no boost lag. There's no need to worry about it. It works just fine, if not even a little better. So I'd call that a win. Well, everyone that was concerned about the boost lag, there's your answer. There is none. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The car's ready to go. There's no racing, but we may go out to Mexico and do a couple of pulls just to make sure everything's okay. Y'all stay tuned. Probably do a video on that. Like always, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.